What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Kat and Mark Show. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do it. Like the video, we really appreciate it. And Kat, what's up? Welcome.
Hello. So if everybody's listening to this, I'm pretty sure that last week's episode, it did get recorded on my new gadget, Gizmo thingamabobby. So hopefully if you're hearing this, it means that it's worked a second time. We should have some very clear audio going forward. So I almost had a little mini heart attack though, because like when I first opened it up, like what opened up was like a little 2-second snippet, and I was like, oh no, I was like 2 seconds. I was like, oh, like we could probably make do with like half of like the audio, like the recording, but I was like, oh, 2 seconds. Like I don't know if we could make an episode with 2 seconds.
No one likes a 2-second performance.
No,
we need a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, a little bit. So but no, other than that, honestly, it's been a pretty disinteresting week. I've been a little bit sick, so haven't really done anything too exciting. But I hope you have a more exciting story for me.
Yeah, well, actually, the podcast was my wingman this week.
Oh, was it? Oh, yes. That's what we love to hear.
You were half a wingman, okay? So I'm here in Austin. I was on Tinder, met this girl, like virtually. So we were chatting and we agreed for her to like come over, right? So she was coming over, and then I get this message of like, oh, like I forget what she wrote, but like I don't know if I can come. Like essentially, like she's flaking. She's like, nah, I can't do this. I can't come over. And so then I'm like, nah, it's chill. Like if you're totally like, if you're a little bit nervous or whatever, I understand. Like blah blah. Then there's like a pause of like time, and then she's like, actually, yeah, let's meet up. Let's like go for a drink. I was like, okay. So we go for a drink, we're chatting. She's like, yeah, look, I'm really sorry. Like I flaked last minute. I just like, I got a bit like overwhelmed and I wasn't sure. I'm like, nah, it's cool. And then she goes, oh, but then I found your podcast. And I was like, oh, interesting. She's like, yeah, I had a listen and you seem like a really cool guy. And like Kat, she sounds amazing too. And blah, blah. She's like, after I saw that, I was like, yeah, like you seem really cool. I have to meet you. And so, podcast.
Oh my God, I love that. That's so funny. I guess that is pretty true though, because I guess like when you've got something like a podcast and a YouTube channel, they can, and so you're like pretty yourself like on the podcast. So like it's a pretty good like representation of like, I guess what they're going to get. Like, okay, this guy isn't a creep. He can like, string a sentence together. He seems nice. That's so funny.
I don't know if like the guys' profiles here are really bad or not. But me, like Alex and I have both been getting a lot of girls asking, like that. One of their first messages is like, "Is this a real account? Like, are you real?" Because I don't know, we have like some nice photos and shit. Yeah, we're getting it a lot. Like, so I don't know if the guys are here are just fucking awful or what. So yeah, it's nice to know this girl was like, "Look, saw the podcast," and she ended up joining us on one of our sex coaching workshops as well.
Oh, was that like that speed dating thing?
For that and helped out. No. Like one of our live workshops where the students could like role play, practice some stuff with her. So
cool.
Yeah, it worked out great.
Oh, that's good.
So thank you, Kat. Thank you, podcast.
How good. Podcast saved the day. Yeah. Oh, good. Actually, I do have a funny story, which is going to lead into my first question for you. So So one of my friends recently, she got some like, Uber Eats or like whatever, right? Pizza, whatever it was. Doesn't matter. It's not the point of the story. She got like a food delivery thing the other day. And afterwards, like, she messages me and she's like, Kat, I've got a question for you. She's like, is it weird if I fuck my Uber Eats delivery guy? I was like, what? She's like, I just got this like food delivery and the guy was so fucking hot. I kind of like kept trying to like lure him in, but like he wasn't really taking the bait. But like, God, he was so hot. Like I would have just like, I really wanted to like fuck him. And I was like, I mean, I don't think I've ever like had an encounter where I've like had like an Uber Eats guy where I was like, oh yeah, I would bang him. But like my first question to you is like, have you ever fucked a delivery person or like would you?
I definitely would. I like the idea of like spontaneous sex. Like I like the idea of like, especially like a girl's meant to be working. She rocks up at the house. Like we start. That's kind of hot. But if I'm honest with you, I've never seen ever a hot delivery person. Ever. Except for like potentially porn. But I've never in real life had like a girl come to my door with like delivery Eats and was just hot. Like it just never happened for me. But
That's what I said to one of my friends. Like, I was so like confused that like there was even a hot like Uber Eats guy that was like going to a house. Because like, I mean, I guess maybe back in the day there was probably a lot of like hot delivery drivers. Because I mean, back in the day, people had like, especially like lots of young people had like normal jobs and things like that, like delivery drivers or whatever. But I feel like in today's society, I feel like if you're hot, you just. I don't know, you wouldn't be doing delivery driving, you'd be doing like OnlyFans or like stripping or something, or influencing or something like that. Like these days, if you're like really good looking, there's usually other avenues that you can go down.
Yeah, I've ran into what I consider like handsome looking Uber drivers, for example. Like there's a lot of guys that like I've met, because I take a lot of Ubers like almost every single day. And there's a lot of guys I've met that had like normal jobs and they do it just on the side, especially here in America, right? They just do it on the side. So that I could understand. But the guys that do like the Uber Eats tend to seem like what I've found, especially in Sydney, right? It's usually a lot of guys that are new to the country, unable to find a job, and they're kind of doing that. And yeah, I usually like they don't seem that attractive, but I'm glad your friend found a very attractive Uber Eats.
Yeah, so to be continued on if she sees him again. I don't know. Now she's like,
did she like message on the app like 5 stars? Hey, I think you're really cute.
She's like, I'm just gonna like try to keep ordering and just hope that I get him again and like try to like lure him in again. Yeah, look, okay. Look, I don't really think I've had one that's like, I guess that I would bang, or even just an Uber driver. But now I'm trying to think like, would I? I don't know. Maybe. I guess.
What would you do? Okay, say for example, this guy rocks up at your door. He's like 10 out of 10. Like, he's just the most handsome motherfucking looking guy. He has your. What do you do? What would you say to the guy?
I don't know. I feel like
how would you lure him?
I feel like I would first assume that he wouldn't be able to just stop working. Like he's probably got other deliveries that he has to do. Like,
okay, maybe ask.
Yeah, maybe I would ask like, like how many other deliveries have you got in there? In that little backpack of yours.
He's probably thinking you're extra hungry. He's like, what, do you want this food as well? Is that not enough? Fuck, this girl's a pig. How much does she want to eat?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, would him being a delivery driver, would that kind of be a bit of a turn off for me? The fact that he's a food delivery driver. I feel like for me,
yeah.
Everyone knows I like dollar signs. I feel like it might be not enough for me. But like I'm not that shallow. Like I'm shallow when it comes to like people I date, but when it comes to people I fuck, I don't really mind.
Yeah.
Oh, would I do it just to say that I've done it? Now I'm really thinking. Okay, have you ever?
I'd be excited.
Have you ever dated someone like that was just in some kind of, I guess, or not dated, like fucked anyone that's been in any kind of service role, like even if it's like I don't know, the post girl or something like that?
I'm sure I have.
No, but like not just randomly, like not randomly off Tinder, but like someone that's like, I don't know, rocked up to your house or like to your workplace for some reason.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just wondering. Like I've slept with like girls that work behind bars and stuff like that, like when I've met them, but I'm asleep when the deliveries comes, right? Or if I do Uber Eats, most of the time I'm doing like deliver the door and I pick it up, so I don't even see half.
Yeah.
So maybe there's been like a slew of really hot fucking delivery drivers that I'm missing out on.
I've slept with like bartenders and security guards that I've met like at clubs. I don't know if that really counts though.
Okay, actually, I did remember. Okay, I've slept with a waitress. So this was in Poland, and she took our order, and there was just like sexual chemistry when she came close. She's like, "What would you like?" And I'm like, "Listen, I want to get this." Okay, and I look back at her. She's like, "Yes, sir," type energy, and I'm like, "Oh, this is hot." And then at the end, I just grabbed a number and we met up another day. But yeah, no one that's come to my house. Fuck, we need to change this, cat.
Yeah, I feel like let's
just start ordering a lot of delivery. Yeah, I'm gonna order delivery every single day, okay? Till we find
well, I feel like if you go somewhere like Poland or something, I feel like all the delivery drivers would be like 10s out of 10s. I don't know if you'd really get that here.
Yeah, I mean, they're all dudes. Actually, they're all like old dudes in Poland. So, yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd really get that kind of quality here. Because like in European countries, you have like 10 out of 10s that just work at like McDonald's and stuff.
Yeah, go to Sweden, yo. Like there's models everywhere. Yeah. There's model girls just like working.
That was like when I was in Serbia. In Serbia, there was just like the most attractive people were doing the most mundane things.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah, there's just so much more hotter people in Europe. So I guess you'd probably be able to do that in Europe for sure.
All right, so we'll just leave the country. All right.
Yeah.
We'll go find them overseas.
All right. I've got a hot or not for you. considering
Yeah.
delivery drivers, what do they drive?
Mhm.
They drive bikes.
Mhm.
All right. I've got a hot or not for you. Like
Yeah.
bikes, like people who ride things like anything that's not a car, bikes, scooters, skateboards. Is that hot or not?
Okay.
Anyone that drives any
For
medium
me-
of transportation that is not a car.
Yeah.
What? It's hot. Are
Okay.
you serious?
For me, yeah. Okay. So it depends, right? If a girl's on like a motorbike, then that's sexy,
Mm.
right? That's hot. But if she's on like a bicycle, I don't know. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I don't really care. But girls that skate, like if you got a skater girl, I kind of find that sexy too. But a scooter, not so much. If girls just on a scooter, like, So it's like hot would be like motorbike and like skateboard. Would be like scooter or like bicycle, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree.
What about you? I feel like for girls, yeah, what do you think? Do you like a skater
Yeah,
boy?
skateboards, hot. Motorbikes, also hot.
Yeah.
Push bike or scooter, absolutely not. Like I hate. All right, so I'm a driver. I have a car. All right, I've spent a lot of money on a very fancy car. I've got it all hot up. I want to take it on the road, hoon around in my hotted up car, and then all of a sudden there's just this bike in the middle of the road.
How dare they?
Oh
How
my
dare
god!
they? Take up your road.
Bike ride.
fucked
Oh
up.
my. Okay, so it's. I'm at war with bike ride, especially in the city where they've turned half the roads
can
into
sense
bike
it.
lanes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
So like,
feel it.
if I was to meet a guy who like rode a bike, it's like you were contributing to everything that I hate about Sydney.
It's like your arch enemy.
Yes, because
right
if we
there.
didn't have people riding bikes, they wouldn't have turned all of the roads into bike lanes. So bikes, absolutely not. And then scooters is like, who rides a scooter still? Unless you're like in primary school or something. Like you wouldn't be riding a scooter around.
What if he could do some cool tricks on the
Or,
scooter?
oh my god, no, even worse if it was like one of those electric scooters. Stop it.
He rocks up.
Absolutely not. He's like, oh my god, he rocks up to pick me up for a date on his scooter. Oh, stop.
And he gives you like a helmet. He's like, jump on the back.
No. Oh my god, I would never. I would absolutely not. Mm-mm. No.
Actually, can I be honest though? Those scooters, do you know the little ones that you just like hire
Yeah.
and you like dash your phone and like, right, they're actually fun.
Yeah, look,
okay?
maybe if
Like,
you're on
you don't
holiday
own one and, she's
and
motor
you're in
transport,
Greece,
they're fun.
and like, you know,
Yeah,
you
that
hire
acceptable.
this little scooter and you and this girl are like running around the French Riviera or like
Yeah.
Mykonos.
Yeah,
That's kind of
cool.
fun. Okay,
Now we're
that's
talking.
kind of cute, right? Because
That's
you're not going to
sexy.
hire a car
Yeah,
in
that
Mykonos. They
is.
don't even have cars there to hire.
Yeah.
So that would be acceptable. Like, but I mean, if we're in
Yep.
a developed city where we have cars and Ubers,
And you've bought a scooter as your mode
yeah.
of transport.
Oh, no, I'm
then
judging you
not
hard.
hot.
Absolutely
Okay,
not.
Sorry. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. I've got another hot or not for you.
Hit me.
Car guys or car girls. Or just car fanatics, I guess. Anyone who's into cars.
Yeah, see, I'm going to be honest. I don't give a fuck about cars. Like, I'm the type of guy that I don't own a car, okay? I get Ubers everywhere. I travel a lot. And I'm not like, it's just, I've never been into the idea of like, I really want this type of car or that, or like enjoy it. It's just not for me. So like when girls are really into it, it kind of, again, like the compatibility thing, like I don't mind if she's into it, but when she's into it, it's all she talks about. She's like really into cars. I'm just like, I don't really get it. So for me, it's like a neutral or not hot, but I understand for a lot of girls, right? Even if they're not into cars themselves, they like a guy with a nice car, right? Like, how do you think? Do you like a guy that is a car fanatic that's really into it?
Yeah, well, I'm a car girl, so I want somebody who also has an
So you-
appreciation for cars. In my so we all know I have a bit of a screening process if I'm like screening for a potential husband.
A little bit of a screening process.
One of in addition to things like, you know, what's your job and what's your salary and like what suburb do you live in? In
Yep.
addition to all of those, how much is in your life savings, all of that. All the
Sure.
important things.
Yeah, the really important things that matter.
Yeah, in addition to all that stuff, one of the questions that I ask is like, what kind of car do you drive? And if it's like, oh, I don't drive a car, or instant red flag. Or if it's like, you know, a car that's not up to my standard, again, instant red flag for me. Because again, I think this is just like, again, this all goes back to like compatibility. Like I'm really into cars. I have a nice car. I like I've invested a lot in my car. So like I want to be able to kind of like do something cute with like, because then I'd be like, oh, like, do you not want to like go to the Formula One with me one day and like go and watch cars? Like, or do you want to go to, like, I would like to go do that one day. Or even like, I plan on getting multiple better cars eventually, like in my life. Like, I want to be one of those like rich, like people that have like multiple cars, like with a weekend car, and then you've got like a holiday car, and then you've got like 3
Monday
daily
car.
cars. Yeah, so yeah, Monday car, Tuesday car, like.
So this is my question for you then, right? In terms of expensive cars, is there any expensive car that is a turn
Yeah,
off?
a
Or are they
BMW.
all kind of like sexy?
Yep, a BMW.
That's
Yep,
a turn off.
100%.
Why? For someone that has
I think
no
this
idea
is
about
like an
cars.
unspoken war between BMW and Mercedes. So I'm a Mercedes driver, and anyone who drives a Mercedes,
okay, so it's like
yeah, we
rivalry.
hate BMW drivers, and anyone who drives a BMW, we say they hate Mercedes drivers.
Okay.
So for me, that's just a turn off because it's like,
all right, makes sense.
cool to me, my logic. But see, a BMW driver will say the same kind of thing to you. Is like, I just say like, if you're going to get a luxury car, why would you get a BMW and not get a Mercedes? So it's like, that's kind of how I say it. But a BMW driver will probably tell you the same thing. So
okay, fair. All right, makes sense. I'm just curious back here, so good to know.
yeah. So yeah, not about the BMW drivers. But yeah, anyway, so I don't know. That's my thoughts on like cars, because I feel like it would just be, again, that's like mutual compatibility, because it's like I want to own multiple like sports cars one day, and I'd want him to also want to like take some kind of like interest in like owning cars.
Okay. Who would be driving the cars though? Say you go out on like it's a Sunday, you're taking a Sunday car out. Who's driving? Are you driving or is he driving?
Why can't we drive one car each?
You're going to drive separately?
Oh, that'd be all right, I think. So, okay, back in the day.
Okay.
All right, so this is like a little bit of cat history. Back in the day, like where I grew up.
Okay.
This was when I first got my license. I was like 17, and I had like a pretty hotted up car when I was 17. So myself and like one of my girlfriends, we both had really hotted up cars, which back when you were 17, you just got a license. It was very unusual for girls to have hotted up cars. So there was this place, like where we lived. It was kind of like this like car park sort of area. And every like Friday and Saturday night, everyone that was a hoon, that was young and had like a hotted up car, used to congregate at this place every single Friday and Saturday night. So anyone who was anybody who was into cars and had a cool car used to go there. And I reckon for about a year straight, I went there at least once a weekend, like with my friends. So we would drive, my friend and I, we would drive separately because we both wanted our cars to be there. And then so we would drive like to this place separately. Even though we lived like down the road from each other, we would drive separately there because we wanted both our cars to be on show. And then she ended up meeting this guy there who also had like a hotted up car. And then I ended up talking to like his friend for a bit again, who had a hotted up car. And we used to go on like, so when we were kind of like that little foursome, when we would go and have outings and things on weekends, all of us would drive our own cars, and it would be like like what's it called? I forgot the word for it, but it would be like, so part of the fun would be cruising, like where we're all cruising together sort of thing. And then we would obviously get to the destination and then we'd hang out there. But then part of the fun was like, when you're all kind of driving together, like side by side on the road. And that was like part of the fun. We would all four of us would take our cars out together. So if you're a car person, that kind of thing is like, that kind of thing is fun. Obviously when you're hooning around as well, like with each other on the street. But I think that it's probably only car people listening will understand this.
Yeah, this makes no sense to me. Like as someone that doesn't even like driving, I'd be like, yo, okay, you're driving, I'm sitting in the passenger seat then, right? Like, why would we both drive? This makes no sense, you crazy woman.
Have you been in my car
What the hell
before?
is wrong with you? But yes, it's very nice actually.
Have you? Where
very
have
nice.
I driven?
Yeah, you drove me. Drove me home.
From where?
From your place. It wasn't far. We were in the car for like 5 minutes or something. Or actually, I think it was when I was coaching. You drove me.
I think I did. Yeah, that's right. I came and
house.
visited. Oh, is that the only time you've ever seen my car? Yeah. God, we've been friends for so long. You've only been in my car once.
Your car even has a fucking elevator.
It does.
You push a little button and there's like this car comes up on an elevator.
It does. It
like
has a oh God, what's it called? A car stacker, like on Tokyo Drift, where kind of like the car like is in its own little elevator. Anyway, okay.
Out comes her Sunday car. Okay.
Oh my God. Do you know how often, I was saying to one of my friends the other day, so like last year I was like wrestling like with the idea to buy like a second car already. I don't know if I think I'm getting close to the stage in my life where I'm going to have 2 cars. I will be somebody who owns multiple cars. Like I know some people listening are going to think that is wild, but like growing up, my parents always had multiple cars, and like maybe it's just like my family as well. Like, well, I grew up out west. And lots of people out west own multiple cars especially because out west you just need cars to get places. So anyway, so I will be somebody with multiple cars one day. So I was wrestling with the idea like last year, and I was like, should I just get a G-Wagon? Like, should I just buy Like as my big car, so I
Why?
can have a big car and a small car.
Why?
Because my car's small.
Why do you need a big car?
Because I have a small car.
But why do
currently.
you need when?
But what if
okay,
one day?
what
Because sometimes
point,
it's nice
Kat?
to have a big car, but I don't need a big car all the time.
Why? What day do you wake up and you say, "Fuck, I need a big car"? And I've only got
Well,
a
because
small
I've only
car.
got a 2-seater car. Sometimes it'd be nice to have 4 seats.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Sometimes it'd be nice
Okay.
to have a
Alright,
4-wheel
I'm with
drive,
you.
like when you're cruising and you want to
Okay.
take people.
Because I'm like, yo, you're not going.
No,
camping
like
or
what if
something.
we wanted to
Just
go to the
wondering what's going
beach
on.
and then I could fit everybody. I could fit 6 people
Okay.
in my car or however many people
All
fit
right,
in a G
listen, you
wagon.
convinced me. Okay.
Yeah, but then if I'm just
That's
driving
true,
by
okay.
myself, like, what do I need the big car to drive by myself for? To like,
You just need a
I
small
just
car.
need a small car.
Okay. All right. I half support your ridiculous
yeah.
decision. Okay?
Well, I didn't get one, but like I'm still thinking about it.
It's on
Yeah.
the cards.
All right.
We'll see.
So speaking of cars, all right, my question for you.
Mhm.
Well, I don't even know if you'd be able to answer this one, but like I definitely am already thinking things in my mind. What are the
Okay.
most bangable cars? So like if someone's driving this car, you're like, oh, I would fuck that person just because of the car they drive. Do men think like that? Because women obviously think like that when you see a guy driving like a Ferrari
I'm sure a
or a
lot of
Lambo, and you're like, ooh,
yeah.
damn.
See, I'm sure a lot of men think like this. I just don't. Right? Like if I see a girl driving a car, it doesn't matter to me. She could be in the like shittiest fucking thing you could ever imagine, or in a super classy, like really expensive car. I don't give a fuck. Like, I just don't care either way. So for me, it's like completely neutral. But I want to know, and I'm going to Google it as you tell me so I can check out what it looks like. What is your most bangable car?
Oh, there's so many. Like, I'm like a slut for cars. I'm honestly the biggest slut for cars. Like, there's honestly, like, there's so many that, like, like, obviously, there's like, you know, like the Ferraris, the Lambos, the Spiders. But then, you know, this, like,
Spider.
yeah,
Okay,
a Spider. Then there's like, there's some really nice, like, obviously, like, yeah, if it's a nice Mercedes, but I'm very picky with my Mercedes. It has to be like a good one. With all these cars, you can get ugly ones and then you can get nice ones. So it needs to be like nice models of like all these brands.
Okay.
God, what, like, you know, and then they obviously like a Bentley. Oh, like you can't not like a Bentley.
All right. I need to look up what a Bentley looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see. It's very like prestigious, very classy.
Yeah. Paris Hilton
Alright.
drives a pink Bentley. Obviously, like the Mercedes, like a G-Wagon or just any Mercedes, so long as it's manly. Because like I drive a Mercedes, but it's a very feminine looking car. So if I seen a guy driving the same car as me, that'd be a big turn off for me.
What about a guy driving like a smart car?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely
what about like a,
not. No,
like Tesla, for
absolutely
example?
not.
Teslas look
No.
nice.
no,
No?
I hate Tesla drivers. Tesla drive. You know what? If you drive it,
Okay.
all right. If you drive a Tesla, you are a horrible driver. Whenever I'm stuck behind a Tesla, I fear for my life. People who drive smart cars
Because-
can't drive. That's why they drive smart cars, because they need the car to drive for them.
Because honestly, if I was actually to drive and I was going to get a car, it'd be a Tesla.
But exactly, and you
I don't know
probably
what this
can't
says
drive.
about
You
me.
probably haven't driven since 2014.
Yeah, I was about to defend myself saying I could drive, but I haven't driven in so long.
Yeah, so you
I
probably can't
shouldn't.
drive.
But
Yeah, no.
yeah, all right, makes sense. Makes
Mm,
sense.
So
Yeah,
absolutely
I'll
not
sit
with the
in that
smart cars.
category.
No, like, so like, you know, like my next car is going to be like I know, like there's probably like, this is going to sound terrible, but like I would love to drive a V8 one day, which I know that's very wrong to still like V8s in like today's climate and things. But like I will not leave this earth without,
burns
because
fuel.
the fuel and stuff. But I will not leave this. But that would say you wouldn't drive a V8 every day though. A V8 would be like a weekend car. So it's not like you'd be driving a V8 around every day. But like I don't think I'd leave this earth without owning a V8 for like a little bit.
Fair,
just the thought of having
fair.
like a nice
Is it a turn off?
V8 Porsche.
Cat's just getting wet thinking about cars right now. Is it a turn off for you if the guy is a bad driver? Like, what if he's got a really nice fucking car, but then like he goes to reverse park and he's like fucking scraping the edges and shit and he can't do it?
Oh God, I think a part of me just died inside just like thinking about that. Oh my God, 100% that would be a turn off. But like that would be really hard. Like if he's got a nice car, but then he can't drive, like I'd be like, oh, that poor
It's a
car.
tough way. You're like, I'll drive for
Well,
you.
like it kind of like, so I feel like I would have contradicting thoughts. So people who are car people drive a lot. Like I've never met a car person that doesn't frequently drive. Like if you're a car person, like I've never met a car person that doesn't drive or that doesn't own a car. Like, I don't think that's, I just don't even think that, how would you call yourself a car person if you don't drive or own a car? So pretty much all the car people I know are frequent drivers and they own a car, right? So I would be really shocked if like he was a car person and had a car and was, I'm assuming, was driving for a bit. Like, because if you're a car person, you actually enjoy driving. Like, I enjoy driving. Like, sometimes if I'm having a bad day, I'll just take my car out and I'll just drive. Because like, to me, that like kind of calms me down. And like, I'm in my happy place when I'm driving my car. Like, to me, especially when I first got my car, that was like one of my favorite places in the world was for me to just be behind the wheel of my car. So like, yeah, so I would just be really confused. Like, how I'd be like, God, he must be such a terrible driver. If he's been driving for so long and he still can't drive, like, God, he must be like, look, he must.
That's something wrong with it.
Something wrong with, like, he must be because, like, what's it called? Like, have dextrose issues or something. Is that the right word? Like dextro. Is that like when you can't like move your fingers or something?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. That's the
maybe.
one. Yeah, like where you can't like move his fingers, or like maybe he must have bad eyes or something.
Dextrose, I think, is like sugar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was thinking, right, like back when I was like in my early 20s and I was driving. Listen,
have you ever owned a car?
Parking. Yeah. It was like a Mitsubishi Lancer, like back when I was
a young person car.
20 something. Yeah, young person. But I tell you what, all right, I knew every time I fucking reverse parked and you put your hand over the passenger seat, you turn over. I know that turned girls on. Okay, those reverse parking skills when they came out, all right, it works. Okay, so if you can reverse park, I think you got something going there. Helps if it's in a Ferrari though.
Oh, it does help, absolutely. Sure. But no, it is. Yeah. I think it's a turn on both ways as well. So obviously, I get turned on if a guy's got like great driving skills because that is something that I would look for. Personally, I guess a lot of girls probably wouldn't care. Like, I think this is only a thing if like the girl is into cars. If a girl isn't into cars, I don't think she would even notice the driving. She'd probably be on her phone in the passenger seat or something like that. With me, I'm like, I'd be in the car and I'd be like enjoying the drive and I'd be like looking at like the driving and whatnot. But yeah, so if a guy, if he can't park, because I pride myself in like my amazing parking abilities, and I know it turns guys on if I've got a guy in my car and I chuck like the and I'm like doing the good park, and I can see them being like, oh God, that's it. Oh, like wow, you can parallel park.
That's what she's
doing.
Of
course, I can parallel
Damn
park.
Skills.
This is my first rodeo. But yeah, no, 100. Like, look, yeah, oh God, that would be. I don't know. Yeah, I'm like wrestling with that thought. Like, if I was dating a guy and he was driving a Ferrari and then you just couldn't drive it, God, that would be so embarrassing for that car. I'd be like, that poor car. I feel like there need to be like a docs for cars, and I feel like I need to like save this car from this terrible owner.
You're like, listen, I'm gonna have to take this car.
Put it into like car.
You're not handling it well.
Put it into a foster home.
Okay. We're gonna find it a better home. Yeah, exactly. Yo, once I had this girl, I was overseas, and this was actually talking about influencers we were talking about last week. She had like 2 million Instagram followers. I forget exactly what she did, and like she was pretty wealthy. Had this really nice car. Don't ask me what it is. I have no fucking idea. But we're at the club. She had a couple of drinks, and then she gets in the car, and she goes to start driving, and she just like literally doesn't know how to drive. She can't even like reverse out of the spot. And then I was like, yo, like this is retarded. Like I'm gonna have to drive us home. Like you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. And that is even a turn off for me. Even though I don't like car, like if the girl is making me anxious, sitting in the fucking car and I have to like take over, that's annoying for me. I'm like, you should at least know how to drive on the fucking road.
Like you should at least know how to drive your own car.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get us killed. That's a turn off for me, okay? If you're gonna murder me on the road, typically I'm not gonna be that attracted. So yeah, that's my only thing.
Yeah. God.
Otherwise,
I've had that happen before where I've been in like cars with friends and I'll be like, oh, there's a spot there. And it'll be like a parallel, that's what, like the parallel park. And they'll be like, oh no, like I can't do that. And I'm like, what? What do you own a vehicle? You can't parallel park? Like, what do you mean?
That's pretty embarrassing, actually.
Yeah. I think it works
you're the
both
man,
ways.
And you're like, hey, Kat, can you please park the car for me? Yeah.
The amount of times I've had to park like friends' cars because they can't like reverse park or parallel park. Like, it gives me anxiety. Yeah. If I see somebody nose parking into a spot, I'm like, what are you doing?
Do you know what, Kat? If I was in my Tesla, I'd just push a button.
Oh God, no. No. Yeah, no, not about that.
How sexy is that? I put a little button, the thing comes up.
No,
yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah, work that.
Yeah, I know. I know it sounds terrible to say that because, like, you know, environment and stuff. But yeah, I'm just not about the smart cars and the electric cars. Like, I just like look. I think my kind will probably like breed out eventually. Like, I think being into cars is probably like a bit of like an olden school kind of mentality. I feel like the younger generation are less into cars because, like, obviously, like they're more like probably environmentally conscious than we probably were in our generation. So I feel like this is probably not something
they'll probably be into cars in a different way.
What do you mean? Because that sounded suspicious.
Sorry,
no, oh my god! Like, you know what's so funny?
Probably be into like electric.
So I didn't even know that this was still a thing. So one of my cousins, right, he drove like this really nice Mercedes. Like, it was very nice. He's a bit younger than me. He's like 21 or something. And so he drove this like real nice Mercedes. Anyway, and then I actually don't know why he ended up. So he didn't have that car anymore. I don't know why he got rid of it. And then got a new car recently. And I was like with my family the other day, and I was like, oh, you know, like what new car did he end up getting? So apparently he bought. This is very old school. Like, I don't know how I feel about this. I was very shocked when I heard this. So apparently my cousin's new car is like one of those like 60s combi vans. And he like has done it up with like a mattress and shit in the back. And I was like, what?
Love it.
I was like, he's got a little combi van with like a little shag pad at the back. I was like, why would you let him do that? And they're like, I don't know. That's what he wanted to do. And I was like, who still does that? And he used to drive the most mint Mercedes and traded that in for a combi van with a mattress. I was so like unimpressed. I was like, I think I need to have a word with him.
Is he planning on like traveling?
Yeah, he wants to do like a bit of a road trip around Australia. But like, I would do a road trip in my Mercedes. I mean, that
makes sense.
I don't care. That would make it work.
I think this might be a little bit more convenience for a place to sleep. But yeah, all right,
so if you had a girl pick you up in like a combi van with a mattress in the back, I feel like you would find that a turn on.
Hot. That'd be, straight up. Because
is it just the mattress
this girl's going to be like a little bit spiritual. She probably does yoga. And we have a mattress already. Like, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? It's like, this is better than if she rocked up in a Ferrari or some shit, right?
What?
Give me a mattress in the back.
Okay, no, like real talk. Yep, would you prefer the girl rocking up in it?
No, real talk. Yep. Straight up, 100%.
Okay.
I can feel you judging me. Okay?
There's a lot of. I know there's a lot of judgment on this episode. I think.
Yeah, I can feel it. Okay. But yeah, no, because 100%.
All right, I've got another random story for you. This is something totally different. So, okay. Okay, so one of our mutual friends, this is something random that she told me like, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And I just thought that I was very.
I love every time you say one of our friends and I have to guess who it is. So I
feel like you might, when I tell you the more details, I feel like you might know who this person is. I feel like this is just something that was so wild to me that I feel like this needs to be spoken about. So I don't even know how we got onto the topic of favorite colors. And I was like, my favorite color is pink. Like, it's very obvious. Like, Kat's favorite color would be pink. Like, whatever. Color. And I was like, oh, like, to her, she's a bit of a tomboy. And I was like, she's, I was assuming like blue or green was like some tomboy color. I was like, so what's your favorite color? She goes, black. And at first I thought she was joking. And I was like, oh, no, yeah, okay, yeah, cool. Black's cool. But like, what's your favorite color? And she's like, no, like seriously, like black, like my heart, like black. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, we're being I was like, so we're being serious right now? Your favorite color is black? He goes, yeah. And I was like, how? And then I started getting concerned. I was like, okay, so how long has your favorite color been black? She's like, bro.
Are you feeling okay? Do you need help?
She's like, yeah, for a while now. I just like black. It's empty like me. And I was like, I couldn't deal with this.
This is one of the soul reading questions. I'm telling you.
Okay, so
it's: do they like pets? Are they into music? Is their favorite?
Yeah.
color?
So my question for you is: would you judge someone based on what their favorite color is? Because I'm sorry, if I heard someone tell me that if I was dating a guy and then he comes out and says his favorite color, not for a car, like so, like okay, if someone's like, oh, my favorite car color is black, or my favorite, furniture color is black or whatever, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. But like favorite all over color, if someone's like, my favorite whatever color is black, or brown or something random or grey.
Yeah.
I would judge that person so hard. I'd be like, what kind of soulless person has black as their favorite color?
If I was talking to a girl and she said, Marcus, my favorite color is like brown. I don't know. I'd be like, you crazy motherfucker. Yeah. I was prepared to answer this question, by the way. When you said favorite color, I was gonna be like, it doesn't matter, who cares? But yeah, if there was a girl that said my favorite color is like black or brown or some shit, I'd be like, yo, what are you?
I'm sorry. I feel like
life? Are you okay?
This needs to be addressed.
Say red.
Yeah, or blue. Just a color. Like
blue's okay. Hang on, wait. Hang on, yours is pink. Okay, that's fine. All right. Just had to make sure you were saying, okay, your favorite color is pink.
As if you didn't know my favorite color was pink. I was just
thinking for a second.
No, I mean, people will probably get a little bit thrown off because I've got oh my God, guys, I didn't even tell you. I've got my new little red Shaw sticker on my microphones. If you can see it all on the YouTube, I've got my little red thing. And obviously I've got the red headphones, but I actually, when I was shopping for like headphones and things, I tried so hard to find pink ones, but they just didn't have pink ones that were in like a good brand that was like good quality. So it ended up being the red ones, which was like the closest kind of thing to like being pink and colorful. And then obviously I got this like, my microphone's actually kind of orange. I was hoping it'd be red, but it's a little bit orange, but I might have to get a new one. But anyway, so my favorite color is pink. I do wear a lot of pink on this show. And when Beats brings out pink headphones, I'll be swapping to the pink headphones.
Fair.
What's your favorite color?
I've got everything black. You can see. What do you think my favorite color is? What type of guy do you think I am? What is my favorite color?
Well, okay.
What does my color say?
I feel like normally guys' favorite colors are things like, like blue or like green or something like that. But I think because you're a little bit of a fairy, I'm going to say purple.
You just call me a fairy.
I did call you a fairy. You're like, not
because you're a bit of a fairy.
Yeah, because you're like into spiritual stuff.
First of all, where is this? Okay,
like
spiritual,
like a little fairy. Spiritual pixie.
Okay. Fairy's very feminine.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay? Oh, I hate you so much right now. You fucking listen. Fairy's what you call like a feminine girl that's into spirituality.
No, I would say
a guy that's into spirituality.
A fairy.
Don't call fairy.
Yeah, a fairy.
Okay?
Like you're into like the rocks and the yoga and stuff. Fairy.
Yeah, like a very masculine fairy. Okay,
well, what would you call a boy fairy?
My favorite
color. Like an elf?
Please don't call me a fairy or an elf. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Okay. My favorite color is not purple.
Really?
This fairy. It's red. Okay.
What?
My favorite color is red.
That's very dark and gothic. For such a spiritual pixie looking person.
What are you talking about? Listen, I wasn't spiritual when I was fucking 6 years old and came up with my favorite color, okay? But favorite color, red. Okay, that's where I'm at. It's my favorite, always has been.
You know what? That's actually interesting. Like has your favorite color changed over time? Because that's a good question.
Never. Always red, okay? I knew it. I knew it from when I was a little kid. That was my color. I was like, you know what? I'm not a fairy. I'm not a purple type of guy. I'm red. I knew it from the start.
Why specifically red? Like, is it because of like Ferraris or like the sun or?
Nah, I was never into cars. I think my football team had red in it, so that might have been an influence. But I just like the color red.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, look in the background. I got a red light. I have red rope.
I like red too. I got the red headphones and my little red mic. So I do like red too. Red is. I feel like red's like it's a sexy color, like red lipstick and red shoes, red bottoms. It's a bit of a sexy, like prestigious kind of color, I guess. But my favorite color's always been pink for as long as I can remember. Like I appreciate other colors. Like I enjoy many colors. Like I love orange and yellow and
just not black.
No, like I like bright colors. So like things like like the aquas, oranges, yellows. Like I like all that. But like pink is always going to be my favorite color. It's been my favorite color since like forever. It's girly. I don't know. It's pink. It's girly. It's cute. It's cute. It's bright. Like you can't you can't be unhappy when you're like surrounded by pink stuff. I've got so much pink in my apartment.
Just to be clear, for people listening, you're not the type of girl that likes pink and has like a pink bedroom with like pink fluff teddy bears and like pink everything, right?
No, I wish. But everyone can see my apartment behind me. So like my apartments are like neutral shades, but then I've got pink undertones. So you can see like on YouTube. So I've got my little pink blanket here. I've got like, you can kind of see I've got like my pink coasters and I've got like little hints of pink. So I've got like pink, my decorative pillows are kind of like pink. So I've got like little bits and pieces of like pink furniture here and there. But yeah, no, it's not. I'm not like. I wish I had like a pink bedroom. I think that would be kind of cool. But I'm probably a bit too old for that now.
That's crazy.
Okay, would you be turned off if you like walked into a girl's like bedroom and like an adult girl's like she's in her 20s or whatever. Let's just say she lives by herself in like her own apartment, and everything was just like pink with like I don't know if it was very fairy looking.
I've had that.
Would you?
No, I've had that. I've had walking in. It's all pink, teddies all over the bed. I didn't mind, right? Like a part of me was like, "Fuck, you need to grow up at some point in your life." But she was like young. I forget now. She's probably like 19, 20. But yeah, it was next level. Like it's crazy. But no, I mean it was fine. It was fine. If she was like 30 and had that, it'd be a little bit more creepy. But being young, it was
all right. But so if she was 30. Like let's just say it was my bedroom.
Then, yeah,
let's just say you came back from Europe or wherever, and then you came over to do the podcast, and I just renovated my whole bedroom, and it was like pink with like fluffy and sparkles and stuff.
I'd have like an intervention.
Yeah, would you have a chat?
I'd be like,
with me?
"Hey, Kat, we're doing a party," and then all of us would sit around the table, and be like, "Kat, listen, we have to talk about your bedroom."
Okay, so that's a no.
What's going on? That's a no. Yeah, you can't.
What about a pink car? I would love it. Pink I would like to have a pink car. I looked
at your Paris Hilton car. Yeah,
I would love to have a pink car one day.
I could live with that.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Done. Do it. That'll be your third car.
Yeah, my third car. That's it. Okay. So closing off with my sex fact, everybody's favorite. Okay. So I don't know if I believe this one, but apparently, according to Google, this one is true. So my sex fact of the week is apparently, according to statistics, men are actually more attracted to smaller boobs over bigger boobs on average, apparently.
I'm validated. Okay. I've been saying this from the beginning of our shows. I'm a fit titty type of guy.
Yeah. Well,
I prefer this.
I think all my clients are also into the fit boobs because like anyone watching on YouTube, my boobs are not big. Like they're not big at all. Like they're probably...
You got some fit titties?
Yeah, I would say that these are fit titties because they're...
Well, yours, to be fair, yours are bigger than fit titties, but you have like really good shape, right? Like for me,
they're still
it's
small
about
compared
the
to
shape
like
over the size.
compared to like normal girls' boobs these days. Like I wouldn't call my boobs big. I say they're like just average looking.
Oh,
what would you?
For your size, I think a lot of guys would say they're big.
Oh, thank you.
But they're well shaped, right? Like for me, it's like shape over size. So if you just have like some big old titties, a lot of guys like that. But for me, it's like I really like the shape, and usually like the better shaped titties are usually like the smaller ones. And so that's why I like the fit titties. But I think, I don't know. For you, I'd say you have like big titties for your size, but they're also like very well shaped, if that makes sense.
Well, I did pay enough for them to have them crafted by the hands of Zeus himself.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. I thought I was in the minority with that take.
Yeah, well, I know. I think I'm kind of like, I think I'm getting biased with my facts a little bit with the boobs and stuff because I don't know, anybody who's been listening to the show for a bit might have heard me say that I'm thinking about getting my boobs upsized. So I'm in so many minds because like I've got one side that are saying yes, do it, and then I've got other sides that are saying like no, like don't, like your boobs are big enough. So I'm very torn. So I don't know.
Are you leaning any specific way yet?
I haven't decided yet. It'll be like a next year decision. So I'm going to give myself like a bit of time to
your time to think.
See, yeah. All right. Well, that's all right. Make sure smash that like and subscribe button. Make sure you share us to your mum, your friends, your siblings.
Exactly. 100%.
The other parents at school, whatever. You know. Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, which is @CanonMark Show. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.